Drop.
Is this the fucking mic?
Drop.
This is exactly what I should be doing.
All right, welcome to The Drop, your weekly source of all crypto art stuff, where we talk crypto art, you know, what's coming up, the different drops that are coming up within our industry. There are a lot coming up. What I think we decided to focus more on some of the more Mograph artists. There are a lot of different artists out there who are doing crypto art and stuff, and it would be nearly impossible to keep up with everything. So we kind of scour, Nifty, Gateway, and Super Rare and Markets. Maker's Place. For some of the drops coming up. So some big ones to look forward to this week. Actually, before we start off, let's go into a little bit of crypto art news.
Yeah.
Now, the biggest thing, a couple of big things in our industry. One, Nancat sold for $600,000. Congratulations. I actually thought Nancat was going to go for a lot more. Because it's such it's ingrained into internet culture and stuff, but I'm not surprised it went for at least that much, you know. And then another big sale, shout out to Cornelius Damrick for his sale of 6088 AD, which is so awesome. He sold it for 60.88 Ethereum, which was basically $118,000. So big shout out to Cornelius. It was awesome.
Man.
I'm really happy because when we had him on the show right after he dropped, actually put out that art,
a long time ago.
Yeah, he talked about how it was 9 months to a year of work. And it's good to see that you can make a year's salary working on one piece for a year straight, And, on top of all the, he sold the project files and stuff like that back in the day, but actually selling the original piece, it was pretty awesome. I cannot wait until he drops 52 Hertz. I wish I had the money to buy it because, gosh, to buy that
Classic.
piece of art, that is classic Mograph right there.
It's classic
that is
Octane, too.
It's classic Octane, yeah. that is the piece, So
do you get this actually physically, like a printout, or is this you download the JPEG?
Let's go into a little bit of crypto art because this is what a lot of people don't get about crypto. This is what I didn't get. I'm like, what's the big deal? Okay, so here's something funny that I noticed. If you go to Nifty Gateway and you click on someone's crypto art or whatever, some of their videos, and I think you click it again so it comes up and it's like a little shadow box or whatever, and you right click and hit save as, you can save the MPEG-4 right there. If you really want to just collect the art.
Yeah, not the same.
If you just want the art, all right, go ahead, save as MPEG-4.
Put it in a folder.
Yeah, exactly. But you
that's not
do
the
not
point.
Own that's not the point. You don't own that art, right? It would be like finding a picture of the Mona Lisa online, right-clicking and saying save as,
and then saying I own the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, you do not own that piece of art, right? The whole crypto art, the crypto aspect of it is what allows you to own that piece of art. So because it's based on the Ethereum blockchain, Ethereum, unlike Bitcoin, has the ability to write smart contracts within the blockchain, So what it's doing is it's taking, you're saying, okay, I want to buy this piece of art. They mint it onto the blockchain, and that smart contract within that particular token links to the owner of it and what the piece is and who it's by. It's basically, has all the information about that one original piece, and because you own that, you own that art piece. That is like the certificate of authenticity saying, I bought this piece of art. So now what's going to stop Cornelius from just releasing another version of 6088 AD? Absolutely nothing. He could do that if he wanted, but he would also be devaluing his own art, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he does not own his art piece. He still does own that art piece. It is just like that is his, you know?
It's a print.
It's kind of a print. Yes, it's basically think of it as a print that someone is buying, you know? Someone is buying a copy of his artwork. He still owns the rights to that artwork, you know? And what's cool about crypto art, besides the fact that it's going crazy and everyone's paying ridiculous money for it, is the best part about it for the artist is that 10% of every resell on the market goes back to the artist.
Yeah.
So you're getting residual income from every single sale. Like, for example, I think there's been $1 million in sales off of one of Beeple's Into the Ether crypto
secondary
art. He's made $100,000 off of those sales specifically because he's associated with that original piece of art, which I think is fantastic.
And Ether went for 90,000 yesterday.
So almost all of them are at $90,000. You've got, and are we kicking ourselves right now because we sold? So this.
No, you know why? Because look, right? Do you see in the corner?
Yeah.
Down there,
yeah.
that little screen. That's the number 8. It's worth $90,000, and I'm like, diamond hands.
Yeah.
Diamond hands.
So, yeah, I'm not gonna open mine. I don't
think that changes. You're not gonna be able to say the box isn't open if you try to sell it. I can't say that,
but so anyway.
Yeah.
So yes, okay, so they technically still own the rights. They'll get residual income from selling that. You're basically selling a print. It's like if, you know, an artist was to create a print, and my father-in-law I was talking to him about this the other day, and he was saying, like, with a lot of old Ansel Adams like prints and stuff like that, they number them, of course, you know, so like you get 1 of 100 or something like that, you know, and as they continue to print them, the quality wouldn't be as good on the last one as it was on the first one, you know. That's not dealing with digital and stuff like that. That's back in the day and stuff like that. Sure. So that's why those lower numbers were worth so much more than the older numbers, because you'd get a much clearer picture. So, which is an interesting reference to this, because in digital crypto art, number 1 of 25 is worth almost this, or number 25 of 25 is almost worth as much as number 1 of 25, because it all depends on the number, you know, of those. So, luckily, so for example, I know we're just jumping around. There's a lot. I'm sorry.
It's fine, but
I get really
you say you don't know that much about
it,
but you have been digging down the rabbit hole for.
So, Anthony, if you have questions, feel free to ask me.
I do have a question.
Yes, let's go ahead.
So I'm wondering, you know, if this is blowing up. There's a small few doing this, so high demand, right? So is this about to get flooded and the gates open and everyone starts doing this and you're making $5, you know?
It very well
because
it very,
the trendsetters, I don't know.
There's a long tail, and also the sites that do the curation are going to be the more valuable ones. The ones that let everybody in, you're going to get $5 per drop.
Once you let everyone in. But here's the thing.
I think you can't though, right? Aren't these communities, to do this, you have to be invited or something,
You
right?
do have to be invited,
Most of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can apply, and then they'll go through your stuff. Or what was it that David just got accepted into?
Oh, that do the invites.
Yes.
Like once you get accepted, it's like Dribble. You get the invites.
Get accepted, and then you sell your first piece. You get more invites that you can invite other people in, which I think is kind of a neat way to do it.
I like that.
Some of these sites, I like, for example, I don't know about Super Rare because I haven't seen any quote unquote drops, you know, versus Nifty and Maker's Place. They have actual drops where artists, you know, featured artists are actually, you know, doing a drop that day where they're going to be selling their art that day, and they make a big spectacle out of it. They're like, this is what's happening. And the interesting thing about Nifty has it down. I'll tell you what, they don't tell you how much it's going to be until like the day of. So you got to figure out, whether or not that, like, you have something set in your mind. I know how much I'm willing to spend on this person's artwork. For example, and like, when Stuzor came out with his and it was $200, I was like, hell yeah, that's so worth it. I bought 3. Right? I bought 3 of his pieces of art, his open edition. I mean, it's $200, right? And then when what was it? When BlakeKathryn, I had it in my head, I will spend up to $1,000 on her artwork, and I did. I bought 2.
And Stuzor, I was disappointed because I turned mine around for like $700-800 profit.
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
should have waited.
So the thing is like, so, and here's the interesting part. So then this is one reason I really like Nifty, versus some of these other sites, but I haven't really used any of the other sites that much. So I'm not that great of a judge on it. But Nifty, it's like you buy from the artist, your marketplace is right there. You can see the lowest price for all the open editions and stuff like
cash.
that.
They take cash.
And they take cash.
It's easier.
Yeah, you don't have to go through like the blockchain in order to do it. You can just pull up your credit card and be like, boom, give me 6 BlakeKathryns. I want them, And so and they have, they have open editions where you can sell multiple versions of one thing. You've got the what is it? The drawings, where a bunch of people say, I want this one, and then they randomly give out, that many of those with random numbers, so everyone has a chance to get it. Like the $1 ones that, right? Not just bots. The ones that people gave out for $1, the bots bought those up so quick
in literally half a second or something stupid.
In like half a second, and it's like, okay, well, how is anyone going to have a chance to do this? You have to do the drawings. I think the drawings are fantastic. The drawings, what's so cool about this? So
here's the story. Tell the story.
There's a story.
Yeah.
Here's the story. So me, Dave, David, and EJ, Dave, Ariev, and EJ, we all were like, okay, we want to get this BlakeKathryn one. There were 4 different BlakeKathryn ones that she did.
They were drawings.
And they were all drawings. They were $1,500, and it was 25 editions of each, right? So we knew it was going to be really hard for us to get one, let alone a low number and stuff like that. But we're like, we know, like the thought was, we know if we can get one for $1,500, we could probably turn around and sell it for $5,000, because that's about the running rate or whatever, unless you've got a really low number. So I was like, all right, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get the team together. All 4 of us are going to bid on every single one of them and hope and pray that we get one that we can turn around and maybe make a couple $100 each after we sell it.
Because
right?
it's $1,500. If you win the drawing, they pull your $1,500.
If you win the drawing. Yeah, it's $1,500. So, we're checking, and then all of a sudden, Dave gets an email.
Okay, wait. Can I tell this part?
Yes,
Can I
okay,
tell
go
this
ahead.
part?
Go ahead. Yeah,
I was sitting in the car, waiting for my daughter. I was a little distracted, right? And I hadn't been on my email, and you guys were texting back and forth. And sometimes I do not disturb mode, like yesterday, because I had 127 text messages after leaving for 5 minutes. Literally, that's not an exaggeration. And so I had it on mute, but then I looked at it, and there was a delay because so many people bought. There was a delay in minting the coins for all of these things. There was a delay in finding out that day if we won the drawing. So the emails hadn't gone out, and the emails, I guess, finally were starting to go out, and Matt's like, I didn't get any notification.
Yeah,
EJ,
like, did anyone get an email? That sucks.
No, we didn't get it. And I opened my text message. I'm like, oh, let me check my email real quick. And I go, and it says, congratulations, you won the drawing. And I'm like, oh, sweet. And I screenshot it, and I crop it, and I text it to them and everything. And they're like, number 1? I'm like, what? I didn't even look. I didn't even realize it. I'm like, we got the number 1. I was like, how?
We got number 1. And
I thought it was a mistake.
Called him. I was jumping up and down. I was like, we got number 1!
I don't
It's
know
like-
how. What
it's
are the
like-
odds? It was like 1 in
Yeah.
10,000 or something.
So there was
I didn't realize
1,100
that. That's crazy.
There was 1,100 people who said that they wanted that one, you know? And so we
Jeez.
got number 1 of 25, randomly selected for number 1 of 25.
But then
It
you
was- and we
multiply
didn't
that
have-
by 25 or whatever, because
Yeah.
you could get any number in there, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
the chance of,
1/25 of that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it was very exciting. So, you know, we priced it. So here's the thing. We priced it at what we feel like that piece is worth.
Mhm.
As people may look at the price of what we priced it at and think that's ridiculous. But here's the thing. BlakeKathryn is absolutely one of my favorite artists. You know, she's probably in my top 5 favorite artists of all time. And I 100% believe that number 1 of 25 is worth $250,000.
Mhm.
So that's what we priced it at.
I'm
Yep.
taking your word for that because I don't know. I think you know better.
I believe in her, and I think she is going to go down in history as one of the best digital artists out there. She will be up there with people and with all these other, you know, great artists.
And I was
think
chatting with her on Instagram, and I said, we're going to, you know, hold. I told her what happened, basically. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, holding it, diamond hands, holdling, HODL, holdling.
Yeah.
I'm like, to the moon. And she sends me this like GIF.
So
Yeah.
and you know, I've got a real bad gambling addiction, and this hits it right in the right spot.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing
Perfect.
is with Nifty, like when I bought the Stuzors, you know, that was the first piece that I had gotten besides the Beeple. The Beeple was company money, whatever.
Yeah.
And we were idiots and, you know, didn't hodl on that other one and sold it for $3,500 just to make our money back.
We could have sold
and
it as
now
a package.
it's worth $90,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so painful. I'm so
Right.
sorry.
So, like,
It's all right.
here's
These will
the
be worth $1
thing.
million. Don't
This
worry.
is the hard part, though. This is the part that's hard. You know, it's like the stock market in a way. You never know whether it's going to go up or down.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, are these pieces going to be worth more? I found, like, for example, Stuzor had a drop last night on Super Rare where he was selling a couple of his pieces, and his artwork jumped yesterday from $1,000 to $3,000.
And that's
for
the thing.
minimum
You have to
price.
know what they're doing on other sites,
Yeah.
not just the ones
Yeah.
that you have artwork on. You know, it's like a
This is
whole.
its own market.
It's its
Yeah.
own stock. It's its own stock.
It-
It's stonks
it really
for nerds, for art nerds.
Yeah, stocks for art nerds.
And,
So, like, the thing is, it's great. The thing that I love about it, I'm a collector. You know, I've got like 2 or 3 boxes of just random bullshit toys. Literally,
yeah,
like right
in the
behind-
in the box.
Look.
Nice.
Oh, here's my Wreck-It Ralph action figure. Oh, do you want the set from the original, like the original movie? Oh, look, I've got all 3 right here. You know.
Oh man.
You didn't even have to roll your chair. That's
Yeah.
kind of scary.
I know.
What else can you get
Oh,
to?
look. Okay, hold on.
Oh, he's grabbing more stuff.
Okay,
I
45-degree
have a
turn. We can pull out
Wall-E.
this.
Wall-E.
Remote
God.
control Wall-E still in the box.
Don't forget about your
because I
physical
bought it.
Beeple piece too.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, like, because I have the Wall-E because I didn't want to take it out of the box because it was so pretty, right? And it's like, so now you look on eBay, it's like $300, you know? You sell it for $300. It's like, okay, cool. But so, like, you never know whether these things are going to go up or down or blah, blah, blah. Like, Stuzor did really well. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm really excited about this. You're going to get a whole lot of peaking on my audio.
Oh, you're fine.
Anyway,
Settle that down.
but the thing is, like, there's a couple things about it that, like, are you know, that are just gets or whatever. The open editions are the big thing. You know, you need to know you need to know when it's dropping. You got to pay attention to this stuff because, like, I like to collect. I wanted a BlakeKathryn piece. You know, it's like I think about it this way. Do you, as much as I love a lot of these artists and I appreciate and I feel I would love to have some of these artists like Ariev or EJ or whatever, or just pay them personally and say, hey, just create a piece of artwork for me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just I'll pay you your day rate. You know, you just spend a day making a daily for me, you know, which I guess is very possible to do, you know, if someone wants to do it. But it's like, if you don't want to do that, just buy one of their art pieces, you know, and you collect it and you know it's yours, you know, and stuff like that.
Well, that's what I already do. I mean, I've got that's a Beeple. That's like a little inspired. I can't point because it's mirrored. But
that's when he did 10
I bought
years,
that for
right?
It's like it's the sit the F down and do your work.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's 10 years. I ended up buying one for the office too. But it's like I paid $10-20 for that, and like it's the old world. Like I expect a bunch of people to have purchased that, and that's worth nothing. I don't care.
Right.
But this is a totally different new market, and I think what excites me is like the ability to have the value reflect its worth, and there is somewhat of a market that should be happening. We shouldn't only just buy $10 prints that are shit. You know, like these people, this is their life work. They're like total Maslow's actualization of what they do, lifeblood energy that you're buying, and it should be valued against others, and it should be worth a lot. And I think that's really cool, you know.
And I don't mind the fact that we sold the one. You know why? Because when they're both worth $1 million, the ones that we do have, we paid for both of those with the other one. So we will say we made they'll both be worth $1 million, and then we'll sell them, right? And then we'll say we made $2 million out of $0. That's the cool part.
Yeah. We put in an initial $3,000 investment, immediately like a day later got our $3,000 investment back.
And then could possibly make $2 million or something.
So I already have mine listed. If anyone wants to see, go look up the Beeple Infected. I'm Infected number 40. It's on the Nifty Marketplace. There are only 7 for sale out of 123. I knew,
are holding.
And I had the feeling. Yeah,
hodling.
People are holding. So if you want to buy it, it's $1.17 million.
Wow.
Someone please buy it. Someone tell your friends.
I'm not gonna list
buy
mine yet.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna list
Matt,
mine.
so what are the main sites?
Yeah.
Dave got
I have number 8 of Ether
of
and
270?
something like that. I think I'll probably, if I list it, it'll be at $888,888. That's probably what I'll list it for once they start. But the thing is, I feel like the things are going to go up. We're talking about seeing what people are doing on other platforms.
Yep.
What we haven't talked about is Christie's.
Yeah.
So
Beeple, it was announced last week, and you know, for those in the know who kind of knew that this was happening, you could see the Beeple artwork prices going up specifically because they knew this was happening.
Yeah, I think so. It seems like.
And so, like, it was announced that Christie's auction house is going to be auctioning off the whole first 5,000 days in one piece of Beeple's artwork.
They have it listed on their site.
every days.
Beeple's Opus.
And it will be the first. It's Beeple's Opus.
That's what they have listed on. It says that on their site. Yeah.
It's the first 5,000 every days. It will be minted. It's minted from Maker's Place, by Maker's Place, and it will be the first NFT that will from Christie's that will take Ethereum and Bitcoin,
and the first digital drop is in general, right?
There was an NFT previous. I think there was like 1 or 2, but his will be the first one where they accept Bitcoin or Ethereum, which I think is really, really cool. I think that. So here's the thing that I've noticed in the fine art world, where you have a physical piece versus the digital art world. There's a big difference in price with some of these artists and stuff. You know, if you wanted to buy like a Banksy print or something, you know, you could probably find one for like $1,000 or something, you know, versus if some of these digital artists, you know, you're minimum $3,000 to buy one of them, you know, and it's the NFT, it's just digital and stuff like that. It's interesting. I've seen a big difference in price. I'm curious if there's ever going to be like a, you know, what's the word, where they, you know, come together or whatever.
Merger?
If we're like the digital prices are going to be more like the physical prices and stuff like that. Another thing. So
like,
So Nifty, for example, you know, I was talking earlier, they do a bunch of things. They do drops where you can buy as many as you can in 5 minutes. That's why you kind of need to know which artists are dropping for the week. And so that's why
you got to do research, you got to sit down, you got to budget, you got to plan. This is just, you just don't go on. But I think the great part about it is there's so many people that are in, like, this industry didn't come out of the Mograph industry. This came out of the art collection and the crypto industry. Right. And we just happen to have something to do with it in the Mograph industry.
That's why I think we have an advantage over some of the other.
That's what I was going to say.
Some like the art
we know
collectors,
the artists.
You know, we know the artists. I knew BlakeKathryn's was going to be good.
Right.
And, you know, that's why I bid on BlakeKathryn stuff. I'm a big fan of Stuzor. That's why I knew his price was going to be good. He's got the work behind it in order to, you know, and for $200, how could you not, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I bought 3 of them.
And Kent in the chat is clarifying it's the first solely digital NFT.
First solely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, because I think the other ones, they offered NFTs with the actual physical pieces and stuff. But then you've also got Gavin Shapiro. He did a drop last week on Monday. I bought 2 of his pieces, and surprisingly, I was very surprised. I turned around and flipped one of them for $1,000. You know, and I don't know why. Well, I'll tell you why. Because mine was the lowest number out of all of them. There was a bunch listed for resale. There was like 8 or 10 listed before mine, and for some reason mine resold because I had a lower number. That's why it's important to get in on these early.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got drops, which is, you know, you buy as many as you can in 5 minutes. You know, they've got the drawings where you basically say you want it, and they'll pick a random person to draw. You've got, you know, get it as fast as you can ones. You know, with some of them have a different percentage. Like, for example, tonight, John Norlander, I think I'm saying that right, has 2 drops and a pack. The pack is going to be $400, and what you do is you randomly get assigned one of the ones, you know, that they are selling. And there's like a certain percentage chance that you'll get each one. So the lower percentage chance, those, of course, are going to be worth more. And because it's a pack, you're going to want to buy as many as you want because you got to collect them all, right? Got to catch them all.
Got to catch them all.
You know?
Oh,
because,
Kent. Okay. Okay. I got you, Kent. I just put that together in the chat. Yeah. All right. Keep going, Matt.
And also with this pack one, they're doing a $1. Whoever gets the most of this collection actually wins the entire collection. So it's like,
wow.
And you know, you can't do this with the physical art world. You know, you can't say, okay, if you buy all 5 of these Banksy artworks, you get the torn up Banksy artwork. You know, it's like,
shredded
no,
one.
Is only this. Yeah, this is the only the stuff that you get to do in the digital world. And here's some other stuff that, like, me and my brother were talking about. You know, because it's digital, because it's linked to like an MPEG-4 or something on a specific site that's holding it. Who's to say that MPEG-4 can't change?
Mm-hmm.
You know. Who says you can't, because it's attached to a smart contract, who's to say that you can't do an interactive one where based upon who owns it, the artwork changes, you know?
Or anything.
How
I mean, that's
be?
what Winkleman was talking about on that School of Motion podcast, is the fact that something could change even. He was talking about the presidential one where the outcome was going to be different depending on the election. Right. And it's like, it sounds like something someone would have done before, but it's never been done before, you know?
Yeah, so here's what's interesting about that. Think about this as well. Beeple probably created 2 versions of that, of whoever would win.
Mhm.
What happened to that other one? Is he going to sell that as an NFT one day?
Right.
And also, because it's a smart contract, it also says who owned it previously, right? You go into Nifty, you can see who owned it throughout. For example, my Beeple artwork was originally owned by Dave and then gifted to me.
Right, and that's another part of it. Who's owned these and what's the value based on the owners?
That's a big thing with the fine art industry. If you buy a Picasso that was owned by Robin Williams, it's going to be worth more because that's the story behind it.
Yeah, or like a painting Hitler owned or something.
So it's like, right? I'm really curious.
Some weird,
I'm really curious. Like I thought about doing this. Like Dave passes me an artwork, and then I pass the artwork over to Ariev, and then Ariev passes the artwork over to EJ.
But nobody cares that I owned it.
The artwork to BlakeKathryn. BlakeKathryn passes the artwork to Beeple, and then Beeple gives it back to me. And then I say, look at the people who have owned this previously.
That would be funny.
Even if it's just for a day. It's like that's a history right there.
Yeah. That's going to drive.
I don't know. I think
cool.
the NFT
There's
world is very
cool about that.
That's a long-term game. That's a
long-term game.
People
Nifty, I love Nifty because it seems like the prices are increasing. Sometimes you got to sit on stuff. Like for example, these Stuzor ones, I sat on them for about a
month.
I sat on it for about a month before I sold. I sold 2 of mine. Yesterday I sold one for 1,000, and like a week ago I sold one for like 600. So I made my money back off the first sale. The secondary sale, that's extra money, and then the third one I've got listed for $35.55. So I would make $3,000 on it after. You have to keep in mind 10% goes back to the artist and 5% goes to Nifty or something like that. So you've got to build that in if you're wanting to make an even amount of money. But I may take it down because I do enjoy collecting. I like the Stuzor. I'd be sad to see it go.
Yeah, yeah. You got the multiples, so you can hold and sell and.
I do. I like the collecting and I like the selling part. I like holding for a little bit so that I could. So that I could sell it, maybe make a couple $100. That would be great, but then also the collecting part, because I really love these artists, and being able to own a piece of their artwork, I think is fantastic. So
who else we got? What else we got?
Okay,
I got a question for you real quick, Matt, though. I'm curious what your thoughts are on the longevity and the fluidness of how these platforms evolve. Like technology, like, is this going to be out of date in 10 years and we're not using the MP4s or the JPEGs or whatever? Or are these contracts going to evolve so that they delegitimize a whole generation of crypto art? And you're like, oh, well, you need to be on this platform because you really own these 5 new aspects, the history and
really good question.
So
I don't know if I have the answer to that. Like I was very concerned the other day because if you go onto Nifty's site, if I was to sell something for $1 million, it says I can only transfer $5,000 a week to my bank directly from them, unless I go through and do this whole other like payout system.
You cash it
through
to
Gemini,
Ethereum,
right?
and Ethereum
you have to
to
attach
US
to
dollars.
Ethereum, and you got to transfer it, and then there's fees that are associated with that. And it's like, okay, well, I could just sit here and pull out $5,000 a week for the next 4 years. But what happens if this site goes under in 4 years? I will lose my money because it's associated with that. That was the fear that I had,
Kent says in the chat.
Part of my fear is, the next generation that comes up, maybe it's an official print from some Italian in Milan that is printing everything, and it comes with an actual chip, gold chip and a number, and there's a certain sense of tapping into the old art world that combines the hybrid and is I don't know. That's not to happen.
I think that was the big thing that people did with his initial drop in December was he got a lot of people who didn't understand crypto, to invest in him because he had physical pieces along with it,
Something
lot
else
of
he
people
talks
now
about in his
don't
interview.
care about the physical art piece along with it. They only want the NFT that's associated with it. And because I get that, I get that now. It's like, okay, I get you don't need a physical piece in order to do it.
But that was
now,
the gateway drug to get into it.
That was the gateway. Yeah. I mean,
And Kent
yeah.
says in the chat that the number 8 is highly collectible in Asian markets.
Really?
Yes. So I'm like, all right.
Oh, dude. 8,888,000.
Yeah. Think bigger.
888.
To the moon.
Dude.
Diamond hands.
To the moon.
Hodl.
Come on, you got.
Hodl.
If you sell it for
Hodl.
$8 million, almost $9 million, you got to give me at least $1 million.
Oh yeah. We'll work something
trade you
out.
my
I'll
people
give you a
art-
couple
No,
bucks.
you just buy my people artwork for $1 million.
Oh,
How
there
about
you
that?
go. There you go.
'Cause
And
then
then
you
I'll
can
let
hold
that
on to it.
gain. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine with me. I got
Okay.
$1 million.
All right.
I don't care.
There we go. We'll do it that way. That's perfect.
No, you should list it for 8,888,888.
To the moon.
So
Who else?
okay,
What we got?
So all right, let's talk about this week.
I have
This
to go
week's
to the
drop,
restroom.
The ones,
You
go
do
ahead.
that. I'll be back.
So this week's drop, the ones that I think were notable and stuff. Tonight, for those who are listening live right now, you may get in on this, and I feel real sad if you don't. The two that I think are pretty good. It's on Nifty. John Norlander, they have 2 drops, a 700 and a 1500 open edition to where you can buy as many as you can in 5 minutes. And then they've got the packs. John's got the packs where it's like, I think it's 12 different of these really cool little animations. They look like they were done in Houdini, like liquid sims and particles and stuff like that. It's pretty neat, super Mography. You can buy as many as you can until it runs out. And I think there's like 250 and they're $400 per. And so there's also a percentage of, which one you'll get. So some of them are worth more, some of them are worth less. And because they've got that, whichever one people are going to collect, you try and get them all within 24 hours. At the end of 24 hours, whichever one has the most, whichever person owns the most of these collection wins the full collection. So for those listening, if you're wanting to get in on this, I would say this is probably a good way to flip a little bit, of money, because you'll have some people who are wanting to collect it, and you could probably buy a couple and flip them for a profit. That's for people who are looking to actually invest and make a little bit of money off of it. You've also got the collector like me who just wants to sit back and collect the stuff, and who also wants to flip it. So I'll probably buy a couple. You've also got I think it's pronounced Beige. I could be wrong. She does a lot of architectural renderings and stuff like that. She's got these limited editions. It's 15 for 1,000. She has an open edition for 500, and then she's got these packs that she's selling for 400 as well. So all these you can check out niftygateway.com. Or I would recommend what the sucky part about this is you don't know that they're coming up. Until unless the artist actually specifically says, or you check their Twitter on Monday morning at 10 a.m. That's why I was scrambling to put all the lists together, because I had to go and, see which ones I knew and which ones I didn't. I was very excited about the John Norlander one because I've been a fan of his work for a while. Okay, so Wednesday you've got Trevor Jones. Trevor has previously done some nifty drops, and I always like to reference if someone's if someone's a new artist, I like to check out their work. If I like their work, I'll buy one of their pieces. If they have already made a drop, you have a pretty good track record of how well their work is selling. So for example, Trevor Jones did 4 drops where it was like this Picasso bowl, and it was all bidding, and they bid, I think the top bid was like $55,000. So I would say if you're looking to invest, Trevor Jones is a very good investment opportunity. Trevor Jones is also a really good artist. I really like.
Mograph.com does not guarantee results.
We do not guarantee anything. If you lose $10,000, you lose $10,000. I am telling you, the people that I am putting my money down on.
And
so
Arya said Josh Pierce on March 1st now too.
Okay.
He
Yeah,
just-
I haven't gotten into March because that will be
Okay.
next week. You know,
Gotcha.
I'm just doing it for this week.
Gotcha.
Thursday on Nifty, you've got a really good artist named Greg Mike. He did these really cool can renders. You know, like he did a series back in the day, and he's redone these for a bunch of new artwork that he created. They're pretty neat. I don't know the price on those yet because normally they don't release the prices until the day of, which is a hard thing for budgeting wise. You know, that's why I like to, you know, double dip and sell and stuff like that so that I can actually get a little fun money. Yeah. So here's the thing. The investment is there, you know, if you're willing to wait the time. I turned $600 for my initial Stuzor investment. If I was to sell all of my Nifties that I have minus my Beeple at the lowest price in which all of them are listed on the marketplace, I'd have $9,000. You know, it's pretty good for an initial $600 investment for 1 month ago.
And Sarah,
Do
we'll
you
put
go
those
through
links
your
in the show
Coinbase
notes.
account, or what do you do,
It
Matt?
just no.
How does
So
this-
what it does is once you sell it, it goes into your balance on your Nifty site. So I've got right now I've got like $1,000 balance on my Nifty site, and then you can just transfer it to your bank. You can transfer up to $5,000, or you can go through the Gemini stuff. The Gemini stuff I don't know much about. I think it's, you know, you have to convert it to crypto and ether and then into your bank account, and there's no limit on how much you can do. I'm not 100% sure. So a couple other artists to look out for. This is on Maker's Place. Kid Mograph, well known within our industry, super well known, is dropping, I think, 3 art pieces, and I think they're single editions. Don't quote me on it because I can't really tell. That's why I don't. That's why I like Nifty, because it gives me a good layout of what everything's happening. I think Kid Mograph is doing 3 individual pieces. They're one of ones, I believe. Tomorrow, his drop will be
23rd.
tomorrow, and I
23rd,
think
yeah.
that will be bidding. I'm pretty sure. So people bid on it, you know, and with those, I think you have to bid Ethereum. You can't bid cash. So you'll need to have like a MetaMask, an account, you know, and it associated with your, you know, your web browser. You've got to have the plugin, and then it'll associate with it. I'm not 100% sure how it works, you know, but Kid Mograph, really well known in our industry. He's doing a drop tomorrow. Roger Kilimanjaro is also doing a drop tomorrow. Roger originally did a drop on Nifty a few weeks ago and was actually very successful. They did a, I don't know if it was an open edition or a limited edition, but it was $250 for that drop. And, you know, that was like a week. Wasn't it a week ago? A week and a half? I don't know. In this crypto art world, a week feels like a month.
Well,
A
last
day
week felt like a
feels
month anyway because we
Yeah,
were
I know, right?
trapped in the snow. But
So Roger Kilimanjaro did a drop on Nifty, and they were sold for $250 a piece. They are currently going for $1,750 right now. So I don't know how many they're dropping. He's dropping, but it could be a good. It could be a good, you know, look into.
has anything gone down in price?
Yeah, so
I mean, right now-
the Stuzors at the beginning went down, you know, and I was like, okay, well, maybe this isn't, you know, the thing is, if you're willing to hodl for a little while, you know, then, you know, the prices will go up, you know, but I don't know. This is all, is it a big bubble where people, it's just going to pop at some point, you know, because every day someone's hitting me up. Hey, I want to know about this crypto art stuff. I want to know about this crypto art stuff. I want to know about this crypto art stuff. You get more people in it, and then they start realizing you know, it may just be this bubble that pops. You get too many people in it and not enough people wanting to collect and wanting to sell, or the prices are too high, or, you know, I don't know. I can't.
You're going to have the good ones float to the top.
What?
You're going to have a long tail for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just going to go away, but it's
Yeah,
just
and
really
here's
hard to
the
tell.
thing. Here's the thing. You may get some of these artists who are on, you know, super rare or something like that, and they want to be a crypto artist. and so they'll start building up their reputation and their Twitter account and following. This is perfect for the Instagram people who the Mograph people don't want to hire because all they do is their Instagram daily renders. This is your place. This is how you make your money.
There you go.
Do it.
I'm telling you, there's like these Instagram artists and stuff like that, and Twitter artists and stuff like that. Like this is their market right here. What was I saying? Okay, so Roger Kilimanjaro, good.
Oh, you got one more.
The other one, and Roger and Kid Mograph are both tomorrow. So if you're wanting to get on that, 2/23.
We'll say the
23rd,
date,
yeah,
just in case.
Then the last one is on the 25th. David McLeod. I don't know if you say that, but it's this cool abstracty Mograph stuff. Really cool stuff. I like their stuff. It's very, very cool.
And this segment won't always be an hour long. This is just the first time we've done it. And we're trying to give everybody a primer. Usually every week it'll be like, here's the listing. I know not everybody likes this talk. Not everybody likes the crypto art talk. It's not going to be don't worry. It's not going to be an hour every week.
This in depth every single week.
Yeah.
And Kevin, you're right. I am very passionate about this because my wife hates hearing about crypto art. My wife hates hearing about crypto.
Not when she goes to the bank.
Well, here's the thing. So yesterday I sold a Stuzor and I made $1,000. And I went in and I told her, I said, hey, I just made $1,000. How much would it cost me to give you for you to like crypto art?
Well
That's
done.
like, how much will it cost
done.
for you to just shut up?
So, but it's like, and here's the thing, like, what's it called? My hobby for the longest time has been 3D Mograph. That's my hobby. It's
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
I finally found a different hobby that I kind of like.
But it's
Of course,
related.
I'm passionate about it, and it's related. Yeah. So I feel, I've drinking the people juice. I have drank people's juice.
Hopefully it's not coming out of a tube from Buzz Lightyear's nipples.
Right, exactly. I have drank the crypto art juice, and I see where it's going. Now, I will say there are a lot of people on Twitter who do not like the environmental aspect of crypto, and I get that. I get that. Yeah, it's shitty, And kind of like what we talked about before, you can offset by buying renewable energy credits if you're feeling that passionate, and which I do,
not
about
expensive.
the environment. It's not expensive at all, honestly, because the renewable what you have to realize when you're paying electricity, at least the way it is in Texas. I don't know the way it is in the rest of the world because Texas is deregulated and, we let all of our power go out, so what you're actually, when you're paying for energy, it's actually only like 1 or 2 cents per kilowatt hour that you're actually paying the electricity companies, the companies who are making the electricity, the source. You're paying the electricity the middleman like 5 or 6, 7 cents, and then at least in Texas you're paying a little bit more for the other middleman because there's so many middlemen in between, so you can go and buy renewable energy credits for pennies on the dollar to counteract all the energy that you're using for these NFTs if you feel that impassioned about it, which I do, and I think people should do it. That's why I looked this stuff up.
Yeah.
So
it'd be cool if it was automatically packaged in and, maybe
I
a new
completely agree.
aspect.
I completely
It's like
agree.
if you agree to purchase this, you also are signing up for X, Y, and Z.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Maybe there will be a site like that in the future. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I
But,
got this email too. You want to go to that, or you got something else?
No, go ahead. Let's hit the email because I think there's more to talk about with the
and we're starting to run short on time here too. So
we had started.
We didn't think it would be this long this time, but Nick asked,
I know,
and we might have covered some of this. I don't even remember what this said because this was like 2 weeks ago. Dear Mr. Cost and Mr. Milstead and esteemed guest, That worked well because who knows what episode that would have aired on with all the power
Right.
outages. I figured it
Right.
would be fun to email in with a question discussion point, as most of us right now. I'm curious about getting into the crypto art game. I was wondering how still images value against animated pieces. If you had a still render, does it make sense to add some animation, simple or complicated? And if you're going for that, is sound design for the music a must? I realize there are no hard rules right now, but just thinking about value added versus diminishing returns. And on that thought, is it standard practice and ethical to sell both the still and animation on the market? Keep rocking.
So
That's
that
rock
is
a force.
an awesome question.
That's
That
rock
is
a
an
force.
awesome question, Nick.
Curious.
Because that does bring up a lot of things. I have bought stills. I have bought animated ones. The Beeple artwork, the original artwork, it was not animated, but the way he released it made it look like it was a actual like physical card or something like that, with like these zoom ins and zoom outs. Your standard Ken Burns effect. That just gets spiked to. Oh. Sarah, that's good. That's good. That's really good.
Sarah said she wants to know how much time per day you spend researching this. You don't even know.
Sarah,
Matt is dreaming
here's
about
what I will
crypto.
tell you. I have not stopped dreaming. I got 4 hours of sleep last night because I cannot stop checking my Nifty
he's
account.
checking prices every 10 minutes.
Every 10. You want to know how many times I've done it during this episode? Probably at least 6 or 7.
You need like an app that like is
I know
graphing
we need an app
this.
to
like
tell
you
what
need,
the thing is.
Stomps
So, what was I saying? I do spend a lot of time, and I have this thing that I call Schrödinger's crypto art, right?
Yeah.
Schrödinger's crypto
I
art.
like this.
Okay, I have listed my Beeple artwork for $1.17 million. Please tell your friends I want someone to purchase it for me. I will throw a big party for you if you do convince someone to buy it. So I have this thing called Schrödinger's crypto art where every night I go to bed and I wonder whether I'm going to wake up in the morning a millionaire because
it's for sale.
Piece of art.
Because it's for sale.
Because it's for sale.
And it's
right?
instant. It's not like you have to approve the sale. It's just
Correct.
gone. It's
It
gone.
is instant. It is gone. So every morning I wonder whether or not I will have sold this piece of art and I'm a millionaire, and I will not know until either I check my Nifty account or I check my email. So in between the time in which I fall asleep and I check my Nifty account one last time before I go to bed, up until it's the first thing I check in the morning, I am both a millionaire and not
a millionaire.
I will only ever know if I'm a millionaire once I check my Nifty account each morning.
Life in limbo.
Yeah.
So it's so funny because, like, I mean, it's all I've ever wanted in life is to be a millionaire, right? I just want to be a millionaire. So, like, I go to bed every night thinking about, what if in the morning I wake up and I'm a millionaire? How am I going to react? And it's like, and then that keeps me up all night. I got 4 hours of sleep last night because I could not stop thinking about crypto art. But yeah, I've done a lot of research. I've listened to the podcast, the different podcasts. I've talked to people about it. I've talked to a few people. And Rock Force, Nick, you bring up a really good point in your email. So I have bought still images. I've bought animated images. I've bought animated images with music as well. And I do think that doing the animated images, adding a little bit of motion to it, adds to it quite a bit. And adding music, I think you'll notice if you look at Nifty or some of these sites, you'll see that, like, for example, I think it was Mad Dog Jones. Was it Mad Dog Jones who collaborated with Deadmau5 previously, or was it someone else?
No, I think that's.
So there was a collaboration between Deadmau5 and I think it was Mad Dog Jones. I could be wrong. This past week, and the amount that was sold was astronomical. It's like 1,400 open editions, which is absolutely insane. At $1,000 a piece, they made $1.4 million in 5 minutes. But you'll see a lot of these sites are matching up some of these artists, some of the physical artists or the crypto artists along with musicians in order to drive up prices and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. But I would say if you can add music, if you can add sound effects to your artwork, it will increase the value significantly. If you can add motion to it, it will increase the value. People are more willing to pay, even though I love my Stuzor. I wish there was some animation, but I still love that piece.
And I don't think there's anything ethically wrong about selling both. I mean, you just price them different.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing ethically wrong about it. What I think might be ethically wrong, is reselling that same exact thing afterwards.
Yeah.
Like if Cornelius was to sell his another version of his 6088 AD, if he was to resell another one, I think that would be
you'd be killing your own profits. It wouldn't make sense.
You'd be killing your own profit, and you'd be screwing over the first person who bought your piece.
Right.
I think that's that's shitty.
Yeah.
But it. Can you? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it just devalues your own work.
I want to say that Winbush said on his game stream the other night that he's thinking about trying to collaborate with Mixmaster Mike. So.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw a tweet about that. That'd be rad.
I don't know the details. I've been in a haze of snow, but yeah. Here's what I don't. Here's the thing. It's going to go into music. It's going to go into movies. It's going to go in everything. You're going to have crypto music. Crypto audio, whatever it's going to be called.
Al Gore just say that
this is yes. I don't agree with this. I do not agree with this being considered crypto art. It should be crypto cinema, crypto movies, crypto film, whatever you want to call it. But he's selling a copy of Inconvenient Truth as a piece of crypto art.
Which is so stupid because it's like, okay, so are you going to offset the carbon costs of actually minting that NFT?
That's irony.
Yeah,
I don't think he knows. He doesn't know.
He may not know.
He's going to get hit with a tweet storm.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves to call that stuff out online. So he's going to get hit with a tweet storm. I hope he offsets those credits, because it does seem ironic. But
it does.
I've got some other crypto links here that I want to talk about, and just real quick, because with this Christie's drop, these will all be in the notes. There is
so many articles.
Winkleman. He is in Forbes, from crypto to Christie's, how people put digital art on the map.
Wow.
What else we've got? CNBC, Mark Cuban, and Gary Vaynerchuk both mentioned Winkleman this week. CNBC article says Mark Cuban is bullish on NFTs and they're about to go more mainstream with an auction at Christie's. Beeplemania. This is Esquire magazine. Beeplemania, how Mike Winkleman makes millions selling pixels. And, I also wanted to mention, and this is a private group, but I believe like anyone who wants to get into it can be accepted.
If you want to invite, just tell us. We'll hit you up.
Aryev created something called Get NFT, like Get Nifty.
Get Nifty.
Like Get Swifty.
Yeah, Get Nifty in
here. That's all the crypto links. That's all I got. Is there anything else? Oh my gosh, it's the longest segment ever.
I know. I'm sorry.
But we needed it. We needed that initial push to get kind of some understanding.
I will make Dave cut this open, cut this up. Then anytime someone says, tell me about crypto art, I'll just link it to tellmeaboutcryptoart.com.
Well,
crap, now I got to buy that.
Yeah. I guess each week we'll probably do 10, 15 minutes tops. So don't worry.
Yeah. Don't
no
worry.
Angry emails. Just like people who don't like the Beeple segment.
Yeah.
No, it'll be short.
Well, you got a second podcast.
I know.
There you go.
I know.
I have thought about
Because we need more stuff to do.
I have thought about
We need more stuff to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, how can you... I put together the drop, just as far as, like, who's coming up for the week, in 15, 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. But it's like, how do you turn that into an hour-long show or something? I don't know. Get prominent crypto artists on, I guess.
Man. Going down that rabbit hole, huh?
I know, shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Ideas keep coming. It's a good one.
Yeah. And then every episode of the drop, we turn into an NFT and we sell that one.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so
driving
meta.
the price.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we do a show about those shows.
Right.
And we sell that.
There you go.
And
Right,
everybody
right.
who buys 5 of them gets every episode.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
Okay,
That's good.
are we done with this segment?
Yeah. Let's get out of here.
Drop. Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.